So in today's video I'm going to be painting a custom Pokemon card. I've been collecting Pokemon cards for quite a while now, so obviously I have quite a lot of duplicates and I've seen this idea all over TikTok pretty much. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. So if you want to see me create a custom Pokemon card, then keep on watching. So first of all, I started by organising all of my cards. So before this point I literally just had, like, anytime I opened a pack I would just put it in this like box that I've got on the side. So I kind of had to go through and actually put them all together to actually figure out, you know, what duplicates I had, if I had any of, you know, certain cards, whatever. I'm explaining this really terribly, but basically I went through to find out what duplicates I had, because I don't want to paint on any that I don't have duplicates of, if that makes sense, obviously. So I wanted to go through and make sure that any that I was picking out to go like to paint on were actually going to be duplicates. So I did this to kind of make it a little bit easier for future. You know, I can just sort of, I now have like one specific box which is just full of duplicates, so I know that anything I pick out of that box I'm definitely going to have, like, I'm not going to be painting on a card that I only have one of. So some of these cards I've literally got like 5 or 6 spares, so I'm probably actually going to go through this again at some point and just kind of sell all of the like duplicates that are, I'm really terrible at explaining this. Basically I'm going to keep 2 of each, and anything past that I'm going to get rid of. I'm probably going to sell or give them away, whatever. But I'm going to do that with them more than likely, because I'm probably not going to sort of paint on the same card more than once, unless there's one that I have multiple ideas for. But at the minute that's kind of my idea for what I'm going to do in terms of organisation, because as you can see, sort of going through here, I do have a lot of cards. I have 2 boxes full. I also have a binder with some in. The binder is actually pretty full, so I have an entire binder plus 2 boxes with cards in. So I have a box of normal cards that are not duplicates, and then I have a full box of duplicates. So again, I'm probably going to go through that because the box of duplicates is getting really full. There's not much space left in it, to be fair, so I'm going to go through that at some point and sort of get rid of even more, and like I say, either sell them in sort of packs or yeah, to give them away, do something with them, because like I say, I'm probably not going to need multiple duplicates of the same card. So after I'd done all that, I then selected the card that I wanted to actually use, which, as you already know, was this Fidough one. So I first started by painting over the background, painting that white. I'm using white Winsor & Newton colours. All of the colours that I'm using are the Winsor & Newton acrylics. So I just did a couple base layers of the white, just to kind of block out the pink, because I wasn't really going to be using that much pink afterwards. So yeah, I did a base colour of white just to kind of give myself a bit of a blank canvas. As you can see, you can still see through a little bit, but it is definitely a lot better and a lot easier to cover with the white background than it is to just go straight onto the pink background. I then decided that I was going to sort of carry on with the grass that was there. So like I say, I was using the Winsor & Newton colours, and I was trying to basically mix together a colour similar to what is on there. So I just kind of did some green with some white and a little bit of yellow, just to kind of see if I could match it as much as I could. But to be honest, I didn't really have the patience to actually sit there and make it perfect, which I in some ways kind of wish that I did, because then, you know, it would perhaps make the illusion look a little bit better and a little bit more seamless. But I do like the way it turned out in the end. I did kind of manage to cover up the fact that the colour match isn't perfect. But yeah, I then went over the entire card with that green paint. I think I only did 1 layer, we'll see in a minute. Yeah, so I did 1 layer with that, and then I went in with a little bit more yellow, a little bit more white, just to kind of mix it up and see if I could make it a little bit better, because obviously, as you can see, it is still a little bit far off where that like the grass colour is. So I kept that as the background, and then once I'd mixed together sort of a better colour, I then went over over with that one, just to kind of, you know, blend it in a little bit and make it look a little bit more seamless, which this colour definitely seemed to help a little bit. The previous colour was a little bit too green, a little bit too sort of bluey, whereas this one was a little bit more yellow, which seemed to definitely match better. Past that point, I then matched the sky. I think a little bit of the footage was lost there, but I matched the sky and then painted some little clouds in there, just continued on from the clouds that were already there in the actual artwork on the card. I then mixed a darker green just to kind of go along with the tree line that is along the side of the artwork, and then went in with pencil to sort of outline where I was going to put some of those flowers. I wanted to sort of make the foreground like the flowers that are in the front of the picture, but make them a little bit bigger, sort of to create, I don't know, sort of like depth within the picture. So I then sort of mixed up a pink colour that I thought would look similar, or you know, quite close to the pink that was on the flowers in the first place, and then I just sort of went over where I'd roughly marked out the flowers. I did go over and change a few little areas, add in a couple of bits and change the way I sort of had them, but for the most part they are sort of where I put them with the pencil. Not that you can really see that anyway, because I did it quite light, and yeah, the light from my ring light kind of washes it out a little bit, but yeah, that's what I did with that. If there's any sort of cards that you want me to have a go at, if you know anyone's in particular, or just any Pokemon, I can definitely see if I have got them. Like I say, I've got a massive amount of cards that I can go through, so if there is any that you have in mind, I can definitely have a look and see if I do have them. I'm sure I more than likely will have at least one variation of them, for the most part anyway. I do obviously have quite a few that I don't have, but you know, for the sort of like regular Pokemon that you see quite a lot, I will have at least one variation. And then yeah, once I had painted the pink flowers, I went in with a paint pen and did some little outline bits, just to kind of give a little bit of definition. Obviously the flowers in the actual picture don't have that outline, but I just thought for my bit that I was pulling out, I wanted to kind of add a little bit of my own sort of like artistic style in there, so that's why I chose to do that. And then yeah, you can see here, sort of fast forward a little bit, and this is how I kind of filled up the foreground. I kind of filled most along the bottom and then a little bit sort of working back into the actual picture. This is the final card. So this is the final result of my card. I couldn't decide to begin with whether I liked it or not, but now yeah, I definitely do like it. So this one was Fidough, so if you want to see any others, then make sure that you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.